welcome back to Mary Book Haul. My name's Dorothy and today we have a book on haul. First 4 books are ARCs, so I'll probably be putting them in a little free library. So with that said, on to the books. These are either, the ARCs are either books that just wasn't for me or I've gotten a finished copy for. First book is This Is Not a Love Scene by S.C. Megale. This, I don't remember what I thought when because I got this through Goodreads as a giveaway, but it's about muscular I always have trouble saying that word. Dystrophy. I know I'm saying that wrong. I suck at saying it, but MD. And there's a audience for this book, and it's not a terrible book. The writing isn't bad. It just wasn't for me, and I don't think I realized it was about MD when I picked it up. So with that said, that or I got this confused with another book, but I said I did enjoy it when I read it, and I'm not going to reread it again. So probably going to take this one to a little free library because it's an ARC. The Devil You Know by MC Atwood. This I read years ago, and I enjoyed it when I read it, but I haven't been wanting to reread it. And I thought that I would end up getting a finished copy of the book, but I never did. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and take it to a little free library. This one, Always Jane by Jen Bennett. I've already gotten a finished copy for this book, so I'm going to get rid of this copy. I don't need 2. This one is slightly falling apart. I got it through a Goodreads giveaway and it came that way, so it came damaged to me, so it's a little sad, but I did read it, did enjoy it, so that's why I picked up the finished copy. So this will be going to a little free library at some point. Girl Gone Viral by Arvind Mandu. I don't know how to pronounce that. I need to stop trying to pronounce names I don't know how to say. It was a good book. It wasn't for me again. Just wasn't my cup of tea. So figured put a little free library, maybe someone else would find it and read it and enjoy it. The rest of the books are finished copies that are going to go to half-price books. Nightblood, Fireblood, and Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I read all of these, I forget when, either last year, year before, or even 2020, a few years ago. I read them on audio. They were okay reads, or like 3-star reads or something like that, and they were enjoyable at the time, but I don't see myself ever rereading them. And like I've said before, I need space on my shelf, and getting rid of it now will save me from getting rid of it later, because some point this year I will be redoing my library. So also getting rid of Unforgotten and Unremembered, which is book 1. Jessica Brody. These books, I remember liking the first one, and then the second one kind of let me down, and I still haven't read the third one. And I'm going to probably be reading that this year, and then when I read it, get rid of it. But no reason for me to hold on to these books because I'm not going to reread them again. And they weren't my cup of tea in the first place. The story synopsis sounded interesting to me at the time at some point, but now I can live without it. Next I have The Girl from the Well and Suffering by Ren Gupicho. I'm not sure how to say that. I enjoy these books. They're kind of creepy, but I'm not going to ever reread them again. And for some reason, the covers give me like the Ring vibes, but I don't think it had anything to do with that. Kind of forgotten because it's been a while since I read them. But like I said, I enjoyed them, but I'm not going to ever reread them again because I already know kind of like the twists, whatever you want to call it. Both are, even though I really did like this book, I'm not going to ever reread it. I already got rid of the rest of the books in this series that I had. So that said, I'm getting rid of it. Next, I have The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. Like I've said when I talked about this book before, something about Jennifer E. Smith, her books are hit and miss with me, and this wasn't a hit, and I don't see myself ever trying to reread it again, so I'm going to just get rid of it. So only a 3-star read for me the first time. Next, I have Test of Never Can Pronounce It by Thomas Hardy. This I really didn't like when I read it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. No reason for me to keep it just because it was my grandma's. I know people are sentimental about that, but I have only so much space, and I have books that she specifically bought me that I still have. It's like all my Vampire Academy books and Bloodline, those aren't going anywhere. Those are favorites of mine. I'll always have something from her. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'm also going to get rid of The Golden Sun. Red Rising series it's kind of, is entertaining to read, but it's not something I want to reread again, and it's not my favorite thing out there either. I know that's probably controversial to say, but it's not for me. Next, I'm getting rid of Life on the Mississippi, even though I enjoyed this more than the other book, The Tess of Oderville. This one is by Mark Twain. I enjoyed enjoyed it more. It was an interesting read, but I don't see myself ever rereading this again for any reason at all. So Fever, 1793. This was just a strange read for me. It's a historical fiction. With me, historical fiction are either hit or miss. This was a miss, so I'm getting rid of it. And with that said, that's all the books I have. But with that said, a list of all the books will be down below along with my Goodreads. And with that said, have a wonderful day. Read what you love. Bye.